We're about to go to our reporters from Bilderberg 2014. They have a lot of breaking news, a whole bunch of exclusive videos that really show the illegality that's going on. We need to get a report out on this, not just the photos and the video, because it's very newsworthy. That Ed Balls, the shadow chancellor, and in England, it's a complex title, but he's the deputy prime minister is what it is. He's like the vice president. Basically, the vice president of England is creeping into the meeting and having to show his credentials to the moron security guard people that don't know who he is, because it's not enough that he has a B around his neck and has the lanyard. They want to check it. And so they're sitting there talking to this guy, and he's got all these official files in his hands, clearly going in to set policy, and under multiple laws in England, it's illegal. And then we've got all our different acts here that make it illegal as well. Hillary Clinton got fined, what was it, $400,000 back in the 90s for violating the Logan Act. And they have similar laws there. But in England, it's in the newspapers that it looks like what he's doing is illegal. So a real investigation's heating up. We're going to talk about that. But I mean, what does he have to do? Have like MI6 files officially? I mean, he's going in with all these files. It's so, I mean, they're in there setting policy, ladies and gentlemen, with the heads of corporations that give them political donations. This is outrageous. We're showing that footage right now of Balls doing all this. And again, there's a shot where he's got all the different files up against his chest. We'll show that in a moment. And I guess that's not even the security guard. That's the police. But we're going to also be talking again to Paul Watson coming up at the bottom of the next hour. But I tell you, the bureaucracy of them trying to put all of us collectively in a control grid prison to protect themselves shows how they're now in a prison as well of their own making. See, what you try to do to somebody else generally ends up happening to you. And the globalists have knowledge of how to dominate. They do not have long-term wisdom of, gee, is this good for my children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, what I'm doing to humanity? Well, yes, I'm making my house powerful and great and big. Yeah, but I look at your kids. They're all basically, on average, messes. I mean, you are destroying your genetic line. You are committing a crime against your name. It's just not good. And the argument is, well, I'm not really a bad person. I'm in a larger corrupt system, and I work within it to try to do better at certain points. But you never do. I'm not saying everybody at Bilderberg is evil. I'm not even saying they run the whole world. They are a key organization that admits they set up the plan for the European Union, and that's been declassified. BBC in the 90s reported that and interviewed the head of the Bilderberg group at the time, Lord Healy. And they were in, again, the German newspapers 2 weeks ago bragging that they're the most powerful. I don't know. According to Helmut Schmidt in his book, Men in Power is a Political Retrospective, German chancellor, he said it was probably the most powerful, along with Trilateral Commission and Bohemian Grove. And he went on to say, we actually get a lot done at Bohemian Grove, and it's my favorite place. Yeah, because they have sex by night and party and get drunk and make decisions by day. And it is a beautiful area in Northern California, one of the prettiest places on the planet. But the issue is, we don't like you running our lives and then saying you're not. See, once we force them to admit they are making a lot of the decisions, then we have to say, what are those decisions? Oh, you didn't have a right to make those decisions. And their main decision, and then we're going to our reporters, is on record, and they've already done this in countless third world and old world countries and are now moving to first world countries, like Spain, like Italy, like Germany, like the United States, like the UK, Ireland, Scotland, England. They are taking the pension funds of private pensioners. It's their money. They've already paid taxes on it on average 4 times. And they are taking them in increments using the same systems worldwide and getting so arrogant, they're now taking money directly out of people's bank accounts in Cyprus and other places and seizing of the hundreds of Greek islands. There's hundreds. Oh, you owe me $3 billion. I want this island that's valued at $4 billion. And they get this giant Greek island. That was in the Daily Mail last year. and the Associated Press and everywhere else. And then it turned out that particular billionaire, he got the government to sign on to cover his derivatives, too big to fail, and then turned around and went, see, now you owe me money. You bail them out, and then, but now your money's been given to them, and now they're the executor and the manager. And then they go, you know what? We want to appoint the new leader of Greece, and we're going to appoint the leader of Spain. They're moving towards that more and more. And we're going to appoint the leader of Italy. They actually did that. And it's just, oh, we now have technocrats appointed, and it's the Bilderberg group. Bilderberg and Goldman Sachs members, revolving door, are now being appointed. They were appointing people in Iceland to run things, but the Icelanders basically rioted and refused to work and do stuff for 1 year until they got a new government, and then they started arresting the finance ministers and found out, guess what, 93% of the money that was owed was not theirs. It was bankers in England signing them on to their debts and telling 400,000 hardworking Vikings in Iceland, who were all out there with their bicycles and their kids and all friendly and so nice and good, until they were going to lose everything. And they finally became humans again, because they were always humans, nice, sweet Vikings. But then they started acting more like mean Vikings, and now they've got their country back. See, the veneer of civilization wipes off very quickly. That's why they want police states and checkpoints and nanny states, not because they want to protect you. I was downtown, and I'm going to the guest. I was downtown, I guess it was Sunday, or yeah, it was Sunday. Or was it Monday? Was it the holiday? I was visiting some friends, and I was out on their balcony. We were barbecuing. And a big storm, beautiful storms blow in, and we're looking at it from, 20 stories up. And these beautiful storms blow in over Lake Austin, over the river. And you can see the sun in the distance. It's one of those stormy days where you can see 30 miles in all directions. And there was no tornado. I went in and looked because the police were acting crazy. They were running around on speedboats saying, get off the lake, emergency, emergency. And making kayakers get off and all the rest of this for a rainstorm that was coming in. So I thought, is there a tornado? And I ran and looked on my buddy's computer. Oh, there's no tornado coming. And went back out, was checking on my iPhone. And then we went back in, the storm blew through, ate some barbecue, and walked back out, and it's just barely raining. And there are police running around in Lake Austin and at the parks and down by their building on loudspeakers saying, don't come outside. It's dangerous. Dangerous weather conditions. I mean, folks, they're now saying don't go outside when it's raining. And in England, they arrest you if you say the word homosexual or girl, because someone said it was hurtful. And Michelle Obama's telling us what to eat now. And they are totally destroying the culture, destroying any form of debate. There's a big video up on Drudge right now. It's also on Infowars.com with a big comedian and writer, coming out and saying, there's a gay mafia. And if you even make a joke, everybody should be fair game. You are destroyed and shut down. And that's pretty authoritarian. That's pretty scary. In fact, there's the headline, Adam Carolla on gay mafia. And me, I've never bashed, quote, gays, but if I want to use the scientific term, heterosexual, homosexual, you want to have me arrested? I mean, you're an authoritarian. I don't like you. And not because of your sexual preference, but because you are a control freak trying to use our goodwill to enslave us and end free speech. And I don't like that. And I'll start, really coming after people if they want to try to sit there and dictate everything, because you're an authoritarian being used by the globalist authoritarians with political correctness to silence any form of dissent or free speech. And I don't want to live in North Korea. Now, while we're all busy debating the next revolution, transgender, because they've normalized everything else now, just as a political fighting point, then it'll be bestiality, on and on and on. Just to create a fight is the whole issue. There's so much breaking Bilderberg news at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. We need some big master coverage article that has the right headline so it captures people's attention, because this is sensational information for liberty. and exposing tyranny, but there's just so much of it. It's all just kind of blurbed out. We've got Schmidt caught on video and photos. We've got him, the head of Google. We've got them with files falling out, clearly doing official business that needs to be investigated. There's already criminal investigations in England. This puts it over the top. Balls with official files going in, claiming they're just having impromptu cocktail parties. Clearly, they're setting policy. We need articles on that. They're deciding the future of NSA spying worldwide. That's come out in their agenda. That should be investigated. Policies being set. That's really the angle that should be looked at here. And their anti-human move to cut the pension funds and not give vets care and to, quote, cut entitlements. Yeah, they can cut entitlements. How about their banker bailouts first? You see? These are the people setting the agenda. And we've got bombshell HD video and photos. We need to get it all condensed and boiled down into one big article dealing with official business being set, and there needs to be a serious investigation, and the people need to push for it. That's what the Independent and others are saying. We're the Bilderberg experts. We need the big articles on this and the videos on this, boiling it all together. We fund this operation selling incredibly high-quality stainless steel, gravity-fed filters that cut out the glyphosates and fluoride and annihilate the competition. And my point is, there's just no reason to buy any other water filter but ProPure with a G 2.0. For the price, it's the same price as the competitor or lower with 10% off promo code WATER. And it'll help you and your family at a massive level, and it'll fund this vicious truth-telling, open bias towards truth, open pro-human, pro-God, pro-family, pro-honor, and chivalry. We need your support, and you get a great product at the same time. InfoWarsStore.com. We only got a few thousand test run bottles of the Super Feminine Vitality. It's almost sold out. It will be sold out by next week, and it will probably take 3 weeks to a month to get more of it. And we're having even bigger responses with women's energy, workout, libido with this than men have with Super Male. And Super Male had a bigger effect on women, and we didn't know why. I guess women are more sensitive to these herbs. Now with the feminine one for women, it's even crazier from what we've seen. Find out for yourself, regardless you're supporting the transmission. If you want it, it's going to sell out. Super Female Vitality, InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. When it sells out, there's still the Super Male. We have plenty of that in stock. And then we have the new X2, ladies and gentlemen. That is the purple original, millions of years old iodine crystals from 7,000 to 12,000 feet. We're the only ones that have it. And it turns bright purple on paper. All other iodines turn black. And we've talked to scientists, that's because they're bound. It's not real nascent. The reason this is so special is it goes right into your blood. Survival Shield X2, we have plenty of it, but it may still sell out in about 2 weeks. I don't know how soon we can get more. If you want to stock up on it and it supports the broadcast, nobody's got iodine like this. X2. Bilderberg didn't want us to know they existed because then we'd start looking into them. I know I'm stating the obvious. So we've been looking into them. Now we force the public to know they exist. That raises the credibility of what they call conspiracy theorists, i.e. people that ask questions. So we're now being heretics and showing that the heretics are actually the good people, telling the truth against the state-run religion of mindlessness, and 2 + 2 = 5. And Michelle Obama tells your kids what to eat. I'm rebelling against this. I'm not complying, and I'm decrying it with my First Amendment. A powerful weapon comes before the second. And so I need all the writers and other talk show hosts, if you're hearing me. You want to bring them down, point out Ed Balls. We have the videos of him being confronted by myself and Watson denying he's doing state-run business. Now we have what looks like state-run media files, clearly going in for serious policy meetings. Not to play tiddlywinks, there needs to be an investigation. We list this British law. The Independent's already done it. Now we have him showing he's doing official meetings. And then there's a bunch of other issues. And then we can crack these people wide open, but we have to believe and not be pessimist. If you're a pessimist, study came out this week, you're 3 times more likely to have dementia and Alzheimer's. People are in a coma. You're not really living. We have to, all of us, wake up and realize what's happening. We've got a lot of videos coming up with you in the next hour, David Knight. Then Paul Watson joins us at the bottom of the next hour. We're going to walk through it all, but give us an update of what's coming up in the next hour and some of the highlights since we talked to you 24 hours a day, 24 hours yesterday, as you report from Bilderberg 2014.
Well, Alex, they're toasting champagne here, and somebody's just come over to the fence to talk, so we're going to go see what he has to say. Yeah.
Oh, it's one of the security people telling you not to put cameras in. Go ahead and talk to him.
This is
in the Netherlands, you always, like I think in all countries, you're always busy with little things.
Yeah.
And now we get 3 days of discussing big issues.
Very intense.
That's a Bilderberg group member. Ask who he is.
Very intense.
Yeah. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Ask him who he is.
Oh, okay. This is Dietrich Sampson, and who are you with?
I'm from the Dutch Labour Party. I'm a politician.
Oh, okay.
But are you here in your formal or informal function?
Well, I'm formal because as being a politician, you're 24/7. So there's no way of,
So are the heads
of exiting my role.
So let's say if your prime minister asked you what you were talking about here,
Yes.
you would surely tell him everything.
I would.
Could I ask whether the heads of banks, such as HSBC, Douglas Flint, is he there in his formal or informal capacity?
Is he there? I'm not sure. You know the list maybe better than I do. It's 106
Peter,
participants, and it's only
Peter
one.
Sutherland from
Yeah,
Goldman
he's there.
Sachs
He's there,
International.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is he formal or informal? Is he still a member of? Is he still head of Goldman Sachs International?
Is he?
He still is,
He
yeah.
still is.
Okay.
All right. No, I don't know actually.
Yeah. So he's
don't know everybody.
he's a member of British American Business.
Yeah.
The lobbying group, which
Well,
is very keen on
there's here.
TTIP.
Let me explain. There's scientists here. There's politicians like me.
Yeah.
There's business people here.
Yeah. So when
And-
there's a lobbyist still, is a lobbyist
We got some Skype
Are you being lobbied?
No. No. But TTIP is a nice discussion. It's a good discussion to have. I mean.
have you had that discussion?
Yeah, well, not here at this moment. Maybe we will have.
Ask him about trying to prop up the euro. We know that's what they're really talking about. Ask him about that.
That's like everybody. I think, like you, we are worried about what happens there. I mean, nobody wants an armed conflict, and it's already happening.
Intelligence sharing discussion.
No.
Ask him about propping up the EU.
Are you talking about propping up
Or the day after? I'm not sure.
Are you talking about propping up the euro?
No.
No.
We talked about Europe. We talked about what to do next for Europe.
Oh, my gosh. I hate having to go to break right now. Oh, my goodness. Folks, I told everybody the issue is that they're setting official business inside. We're getting footage of this, so you'll all get to hear it. Major breaking news as the leader of the Labor Party from a major country. All right, we only got him ID'd once. He's behind the Bilderberg fence. He's the leader of a major Labor Party, Dietrich something. We're looking up his name right now. I believe David Knight can interrupt right now. He can hear me down the Skype and recap, and then formally butt in front of the reporters that are there that are asking their questions. They're somewhat good. They're asking about him in official capacity. He admitted he's operating in official capacity. That may mean in his country that's not illegal. I doubt that. When he said we're not trying to prop up the euro, he said no, nine, which shows they are. That's what they're really trying to do. That's their main global takeover system with NATO. I want to ask him some questions. David Knight, can you hear me? It's Dietrich Sampson. And he is the leader, Dutch politician, of the Labor Party. That's the biggest party in the Netherlands. So that guy's very powerful in his country. Let's talk to him. Go ahead, David. David, get some questions in.
You know, who knows? You might be having more. You might be invited back. Let's hope.
He's also the leader of the parliament. He's the Speaker of the House, basically.
Energy.
3 days.
Do they? How do they structure it? Do they have the kind of experts on a panel giving presentations?
It's very classical. You could say it's very boring, but it's like normal, like lots of conferences. You have experts on a panel, and then
he's a Greenpeacer. That means carbon taxer, leftist.
Are you an expert for any of these particular panels?
Not this time.
Ask him where he stands on carbon taxes, Knight.
Good, yeah. You have to be vocal. You have to show
It's okay for that reporter crew to ask some of the questions, but we need to butt in here.
Because there's no media there, you don't have to perform. That's nice. That's the advantage of having no cameras inside. There's no transparency. The advantage is that everybody can speak freely and doesn't. You know what happens to?
Do you feel a little worried that when people such as government officials and people like generals?
This has never happened before, folks. What's happening right now?
In front of banks.
At the meeting. I think he's even violating the internal agreement. But they know it's all blown wide open now. Oh, I wish I could ask questions. She's ready. You can ask questions. Carbon taxes. Guarantee you that's on the agenda.
And you know, inside information is kind of quite sensitive.
These figures are all
speaking so freely in front of the head of
well, they're not speaking completely
You said
free.
there was
But more
free discussion.
No, more free than when there's a camera out.
I love it that you politicians having frank and free discussion,
Yeah.
but not in front of Lazarus or Goldman Sachs or
No, it's even better.
HSBC.
It's even better because
Why should they know?
Because
Why should they know?
We talk as
The trends.
No, as politicians, I talk about, as a politician worried about banks, I talk about the need for banks
Ask him
to
about
behave.
LIBOR and carbon taxes. Tell David to do that or put the earpiece in.
I want them to behave.
Can you tell us, have you talked about LIBOR, the LIBOR scandal, or carbon taxes?
No, I think the LIBOR, I think the LIBOR scandal is a good example of banks not behaving.
Yes, in fact.
It's a good example.
I would say so. Yeah.
I would say so too.
Marcus Agius, who is on the steering committee, actually had to resign from as the CEO of Barclays.
Bring up the Lockheed scandal and Prince Bernhard. That'll hit him hard.
There was a Dutch bank which was very trusted.
Now, the guy who started this, Prince Bernhard, he was caught up in a Lockheed scandal.
Yeah.
Do you know about that?
Yeah, I know about it, but it was in the 70s. I mean, I read it, but it was before I was born, actually.
They had to.
Well, you know, before you were born, they plotted the euro as well as the European Union.
I think that was after. That was. No.
We got bad Skype. Just get him one more message. The crew's doing a great job.
I'm not saying you planned it. I'm saying that Bilderberg did. So we believe that there's real policy being crafted here. Maybe not in the discussion groups that you're part of.
I don't think policy is crafted here.
Bilderberg bragged to the German news last week they're the most powerful and they do set policy. Throw it in his face.
It's good for international.
In a German paper just last week, a Bilderberg member said that he felt that this was far more important than Davos, that Davos was just a PR group.
I cannot compare it. I wasn't the Davos, but I think it's not. It's a similar type of meeting.
And a former.
All right, David, we're going to break. Grill him. We're going to come back. I want to hear what happens after. Keep grilling. This is a big deal. Get his take on NSA spying. That reportedly is on the real agenda. They're deciding between the countries right now what they're going to do to try to cover this up. Ask about NSA. Nail him down. Say, what's the real agenda? We're going to come right back. This is big Bilderberg coverage. Through the fence, talking to one of the most powerful Dutch. My friends, Alex Jones here to tell you about some of the most important information concerning you and your family's health. Radiation levels have more than doubled in the last 60 years in the Northern Hemisphere from all of the nuclear testing and radiological accidents. Radioactive contamination is now in most of the food supply. There's only two ways to avoid this. Move south of the equator or properly protect your thyroid with nascent iodine. Looking to protect my family, I've done deep research. Nascent iodine is the purest, cleanest, absolute best form of iodine to protect yourself and your family. It's made right here in the USA, completely non-GMO. I searched out the best quality and now have developed a double-strength form of nascent iodine, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Nascent iodine is on record as one of the only safe ways to detox from fluoride poisoning. Survival Shield Nascent Iodine. Secure your super high-quality nascent iodine today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.